Welcome. This will be part one of representing proportional relationships. In this video, we are going to be working with proportional relationships dealing with equations. The ratio of the distance in miles to the distance in leagues is constant. That means that it's not changing. This relationship is said to be proportional. A proportional relationship is a relationship between two quantities in which the ratio of one quantity to the other is constant. There's no change. The speed remains the same. The distance remains the same. A proportional relationship can be described by an equation in the form of y equals kx, where k is the variable that represents the constant of proportionality. When we're looking for the constant of proportionality, we want to use the equation k equals yx. So we're going to be looking at tables and using that equation to find the constant of proportionality. So in example 1, Megan earns $12 an hour at her part-time job. Show the relationship between the amount she earned and the number of hours she worked is a proportional relationship. Then write an equation for the relationship. So if she works 1 hour, she makes $12. If she works $2, she makes $24. If she works 4 hours, she makes $48. And if she works 8 hours, she works $96. And we know this because we can take 1 times 12 gives me 12. 2 times 12 gives me 24. And so forth. Okay? So for each of the number of hours, write the relationship for the amount earned and the number of hours in simplest form. So we're going to take the amount earned and divide it by the number of hours. And we're going to keep it in a ratio form. Okay? So we take 12 and divide it by 1, and we get 12 over 1. We take 24, divide it by 2, and we get 12 divided by 1. So we've simplified these ratios is what we're doing. Divide this both by 4, we get 12 over 1. Divide this by 8, we get 12 over 1. So because the ratios are all equal to the same amount, the relationship is proven to be proportional. And that kind of makes sense because if you're working a job and you're getting a certain pay per hour, no matter how many hours you work, you should get the same amount of pay. This holds true as long as it is your standard contract hours. Another one is to write an equation. So what we did when we were doing these is we found the constant because the number of hours could be my x and the amount earned could be my y. And remember, we know that k is y divided by x. Okay? So our k is going to be 12 over 1 or 12. So in the equation, y equals kx, y is the total amount or the amount earned, k is how much per hour, which we know to be 12, and x represents the number of hours. So this is the equation for this proportional relationship. So take a look at your turn number 3. It says 15 bicycles are produced each hour at the Speedy Bike Works. Show that the relationship between the number of bikes produced and the number of hours is a proportional relationship. And then write an equation for the relationship. Well, it says here that 15 bicycles are produced every hour, each hour. So we have a constant. So our constant is going to be 15. We know that if we use the equation formula of y equals kx, I can replace the 15 or the k with 15, and then my equation becomes y equals 15x, where x represents the number of hours and y is the number of bicycles produced. Okay? We could also, if you need to, create a table where we have the number of hours over the number of bicycles. And we know that in 1 hour, they can make 15 bicycles. In 2 hours, it would be 30. In 4, it would be 60 bicycles. In 10 hours, it would be 150 bicycles. Okay? And then we could find our constant by taking my y over my x. That equals 15. I can take 30 over 2, and that gives me 15. I can take 60 over 4, getting that information from here, and that's going to give me 15, and so forth. And so this is my constant each time. I'm taking my y divided by my x, my y divided by my x. Okay? All right, if you have any questions about finding your constant, please see your teacher.